All right. Pin this real quick. Oops. Pin. All right. Hello, lovely, beautiful people. We back at it again. Let me turn this down. You know, I have to have his music playing in the background. But hi, everyone tuning in. My name is Lily, so I will be your host this evening. And of course, we got coming in no other than RL. If you're a fan of Nick's, you know him from there. The man can sing, the man can write, he does it all. So he will be joining us here in the Skyy Lounge very shortly. And we're going to have a fun-filled conversation. So, as we do every Wednesday, drop your city. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Of course, I'm here in the ATL. So let me know what city you guys are tuning in from while we sit here and wait on Mr. RL to join in, and we're going to get this thing started in a few minutes. So if you haven't checked out his latest song, it's called, well, his latest EP is called The Letter J. And the song that you guys hear playing in the background is Whatever You Need. Super dope. It has that real R&B feel, so it's a vibe. Definitely check it out. Stream his music. Go check out his EP, and we about to get it on and popping because he's in here now. So 1 second. It's connecting. Yep. Okay.
There's
I love it.
nothing I won't do.
Yes.
Girl, you're never alone. Just pick up the phone, and I'll be on my way to you. What's going on? How you doing?
Yeah. That was just a beautiful introduction. I wasn't prepared. Yes. I
Well,
love
listen,
it.
I know that there's a more important RL in your life, so I mean, I had to show out and represent the RLs. You know what I'm saying? So you tell Mr.
I
RL I said hello too.
I appreciate it so much. So happy to have you here with us in the Skyy Lounge. For everyone tuning in, my name is Lily. I will be your host this evening, and we're gonna chop it up with my guy, Mr. RL. So, how you feeling?
Thank you.
How you doing? What's going on?
I'm just grinding. It's funny because I have to do an appearance tonight for my guy Keith and B Cox have a this R&B night, and they've been
Right,
trying to find out the schedules and get me involved. And tonight is my night. But the hard thing for me is I'm literally in the bed by like 9, 10 o'clock. I mean, if there's a Laker game, I'll stay up later. But
right.
literally, I got to be there at 12:45, and like from 12:45 to 2 a.m. And I usually get up at 4:30 a.m. So it's like my whole schedule is about to be crazy
Right.
tomorrow. But I'm ready.
Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of fun. I know you're gonna be in there serenading all these ladies here in the so
So socially distanced, but yeah, I'm gonna
right.
try to have fun a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited about this sit down with you. I really appreciate you having me on for real.
No problem. Look, we love your music. We love you. We're
Thank
here to
you.
support. So before we get into all of the questions, we're gonna play an icebreaker game. It's called.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna relive some memories. I'm gonna ask you questions, and you have to tell
Okay.
how you felt during those times. Okay?
Let's do it.
Okay. So the first one: what was the craziest thing a fan has ever done on tour?
You know what? It was early in our careers and we had left the hotel. We had to do like a hosting that night, or it was something that we got back, and Tweet walked in his room and there was a girl sitting on the couch in his room, and she had just got like a fresh Tweety Bird tattoo
What?
and had somehow got a key to his room. I promise to goodness. And we was like shook. Like, you would think, being young, like, oh, you got a girl in your room. Because, it was really like, it scared us. And it was
Yeah.
early in our career. So I think that set us straight. That's why you didn't hear any problems out of us or hear
Yeah.
nothing crazy. Because I think that scared us straight from the jump. Like, it was early in our career, but like, she was just sitting and chilling in his room, waiting for him to get back
With a
with a
tattoo.
fresh tattoo. Like, we like, oh. So that's probably the one right there.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Okay. The next one. Do you remember when you knew that Too Close was going to be a hit? Like when you guys, like when you recorded it, did you know to this day it would still be in rotation at radio stations?
Well, what's crazy is when you start out, you hope that you'll do something classic. And my cousin is Philip Bailey from Earth, Wind, and Fire. So I always wanted to have some type of music that lasted. But to be honest with you, and I wrote along with Tweet Too Close, I never wanted it to even be a single because I didn't
Really?
understand. Yeah, when I came up tempo R&B, if you didn't have a rapper on it or some known sample, it was like, okay, we fast forwarding, or it was just something you played like at a barbecue or something. There were only a few, like Montel Jordan, This Is How We Do It, but he's rapping on it, you know what I'm saying? And I think he had like the Slick Rick sample in there. So I was like, you know, I liked it, it had a nice groove, but I like the little slow jams, the mid tempos, you know what I'm saying? So, but being that Clive Davis and of course KG from Naughty by Nature, who's known for anthems, was like, no, this is it. I'm like, okay, whatever y'all say. Sometimes the best thing you can do is be quiet, and that's okay. Sometimes take credit for knowing to shut up and say whatever y'all say. And
Right.
that's one of the best decisions I ever made. And if you're asking when did I know? To be honest, I didn't. When you're in the middle or in the thick of it, you're so busy trying to sustain that you
Mhm.
can't appreciate it. A lot of times people are like, what was your favorite memory or your favorite moment? My favorite moments were doing for others. It wasn't really about, oh, when I got this car, this chain, or that stuff doesn't matter. It's when you are able to touch somebody else, like your mama, buy my mother a car. My sister graduated from high school and college and buying her cars like brand new. You know what I'm saying? Those are the moments that you really, really embrace, and that's what you do it for. Of course, having nice things and stuff like that, that's cool. But when you can do for others, those are the memories you remember the most.
Right. I love that. Love that so much. So, okay, my next one. What was the funniest moment on the video set of The Best Man I Can Be with Genuine, Tyrese, and Casey? What was the funniest moment during that whole video shoot that you can
Um, well, I'll say this. I was the only guy in a group. I wasn't a solo artist. So they were teasing me like, yeah, thanks for letting us be on your song, R, because I'm just singing all over the place. But I was so honored to be in the presence of these cats. The one memory that I always laugh at Case about, because he's the coolest cat ever, is that the first ad lib in the very first hook after our verse in the video, he's doing it, but he's
Mm,
lip syncing. It's my ad lib. So every time I watch the video, I'll be like, "That's me, really." But it's like a joke. But besides
yeah,
that, it was so cool because that was before Ty became the big movie star. He's still cool, but Genuine, I've been able to write records for him and be around Case a lot. They're just some cool dudes, and they really embrace me. And that was the moment that I knew that I could do things on my own. Not saying I didn't want to be in a group, but that was pretty much one of the major moments that they really inspired me and showed me like, yo, you got it. You can hold your own as well. So that was the probably the moment that I was like, well, maybe I am pretty good.
yeah, yeah. And speaking of, people embracing you, tell us what it was like when you met Luther Vandross.
Oh wow. What's funny is I had written a record, and Mr. Clive Davis was like, Luther wants the record. I said, cool. So we were talking about getting in the studio or whatever. But people always say, I want this record from you. A lot of industry talk, which I hate. And
Mhm.
we were doing the Walk of Fame BET special for Luther. So the night before, my group member's gonna kill me because I really rarely talk about this, but the night before, T-Lo went out with Tyrese partying in DC because that's when BET was still in DC. So he goes out partying, comes back the next day, voice is gone. So of course we know the words to the hit, but a lot of times you're nervous, so they got the teleprompter up there. So we're
Mhm.
singing the record, it comes to T-Lo's part, and he's like, ah, and he looks at me, and I literally just kept singing.
Yeah.
And Luther noticed it, so later on he came up to me and he was like, that was a true professional. I see what you did. He
Mhm.
didn't know that the reason T-Lo was hoarse was because he was kicking it,
Right.
what I'm saying, hand out, it's
Yeah.
Tyrese's fault. But it was super cool. But then at the end of the show, all the artists that had performed are on stage and they're still taping. And Luther puts his arm around me and he says to the audience, and he wrote this wonderful song for me. I can't wait for you guys to hear it. And I was just like what, Mama, I made it. Like that was just one. That's one of those moments. So um, the first time I really met him was him, complimenting me on my professionalism, and then talking about a record that he felt was super wonderful that he ended up recording of mine. You know what I mean? So as a younger artist coming in the game and having all these opportunities, um, it's amazing. Like I'm speechless. I can't even explain it. You know, in this day and age, it's really about what have you done for me lately. But when I look back at all of the things that I was able to do and the impact that I had even early on, I can sleep well at night.
Right, right. That's wonderful. So dope. And it really
Thank you.
does mean a lot when someone that you look up to and someone that you may mimic after gives you that compliment. It lets you know that you're on the right track. So that's
Thank you.
right into the questions.
Okay.
P is the letter J. So tell us what the inspiration behind your EP came from.
Well, I looked at it like a demo tape for me. That's why I decided to give it away for free. We sampled John B, Jodeci, and Janet Jackson, and I was really paying homage to artists and producers that I really respected. Devontae, of course, Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. I'm from Minneapolis. They were like it was God, and then it was them. You know what I'm saying? John B, of course, is one of the coolest artists that I've ever met. In this industry, you meet a lot of cats that are super fake, and he's
Mhm.
super cool. He's like my generation's Michael McDonald. You know what I mean? Like he's dope. And I really wanted to pay homage, but I also wanted to show hunger. I think there's a thin line between sounding like you're trying to sound young or sounding dated. So I said,
Mhm.
you know what? I'm gonna put the harmonies. I'm gonna have the dope subject matter, just mature like me, but I'm gonna show these cats. You know, the OG still got a little something left. So this for me was like my reintroduction, and I really wanted to give it away as a gift to those that have supported me this long, and also a reminder to those that might have forgotten.
Right. Come on now. Love it. I love it. And I love the song. It's definitely a vibe. I'm an
Thank you.
R&B fanatic. So as soon as
Thank
I
you.
heard like, okay, if you're gonna do it like, redo some songs, this is the way to do it. So
Thank you.
guys, make sure you stream it for sure, for sure. Okay, so we all know We Can't Be Friends with Deborah Cox. It was a hit,
Uh-huh.
still is, get played on the radio, everywhere. So first of all, how did this collaboration happen? Because you wrote it, did you write
Oh
this song?
no, oh no. You know, it's funny because Montel Jordan doesn't get the credit he deserves. Him and Chet Crawford wrote and produced it, and it's one of very few records that I've ever performed that I didn't co-write or write. So it was just such a great record. Clive Davis, who was the head of the label, and the reason that I'm here right now in a lot of ways, um, Deborah was also signed to the same label, and he didn't even request. He basically told me. You know,
No.
certain people that can say this is what you're doing, and you're like, yes, sir. It's not a
Right.
question. So I was able to go in the studio, but I had never really sang without my brothers because I really think I did that before The Best Man.
Mm-hmm.
And I was nervous. We had been on tour with Boys to Men. I was in Detroit. They sent me to the studio by myself. I didn't know what I was doing, so I just sang as hard as I could. It was good, but it wasn't good enough. So I ended up having to fly to LA, walk in the studio, and there's Montel and Shep, and they're like, that sounded good, but let us direct you. And, you know, sometimes you, like I said, you have to know when to shut up and sit back and take instructions. And I did. Rest is history. Then Lil X, or Director X now,
Mm-hmm.
um, she's me shot an amazing video, and it was great. I just actually spoke to Deborah last week. I did her show, and I teased her because I was so jealous that we only performed the record one time.
Wow.
Um, it was the Lady of Soul Awards, which they don't have anymore, and it was great. But I used to see her performing it with Kenny Lattimore, and I love Kenny Lattimore. That's my guy. You know,
Mm-hmm.
never too busy. I love him. I used to look at him in my Eddie Kane voice and be like, how does it feel to be me? You know what I mean? I used to be so jealous, man. And I teased her, and she was like, you know, we got to do it again. So I know once COVID is over and the award shows and all that stuff come back together, hopefully we can hit the stage and show them what we can do.
So that leads me to my next question. You guys are still in contact. So can fans expect to see another collaboration between you two? Maybe give us something for the Christmas time. Any
You know, I would love to. The next collaboration that I'm really working on is me and Coco from SWV because me and my production partner Brian E. Flat Cook, we flipped an old SWV record. Well, I don't say old, a classic SWV record, and I sent her the files, but then COVID hit. She promised me she was going to do it. Me and Deborah have talked about it, but the problem is you never want to go in. People have these expectations of you recreating something when you just want to do something new. I think we're artists at heart. So when you create, you don't want to have that label or that stigma of comparing it to something, because the truth is with music today you can't compare it because it's so instantaneous now that it's not about a record growing and you loving it over time and having memories. Right now it's about, oh, is it banging right now, or let's compare it to this. So it's kind of, you have a little bit of fear, but we'll see, because I would love to work with Deborah again. I think she's one of the most underrated, dopest vocalists that's ever walked the earth.
Very true. And you've also worked and you've wrote for amazing talents like Genuine, Destiny Child, and one of my favorites, Tupac.
Yeah.
So what was it like working with these icons?
It's funny because your team and your work ethic and all these different things really um, matter. And what I mean by that is,
Mhm.
I remember when we did the if you leave him, I'll leave her. We'll pack up bags. Don't say a word. Let's go far away to another place. Let's hide away. Just you and me. That's
Yeah.
the Destiny Child record. But we originally did that with 702.
Wow.
And then we switched it to Destiny Child. But what's crazy is that same tour that I left to go do the Deborah Cox record, Destiny Child opened up for us. I mean, but we knew how dope they were. We knew, like, hell,
Mhm.
I wish I could be opening up for them now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, you never know. And I think that that's a lesson in how you treat people. Because if I see B right now, I remember we did her birthday party in Houston a few years back after she became the Beyonce we all know. Um, but it's all about relationships and how you treat people. Yeah, they went on before us, but look at now. You know what I'm saying? Um, that should be a lesson to other artists and people watching this. You never know who somebody is going to become. And regardless, you should always treat people well, but those relationships matter. So
Right.
with Destiny Child, that was dope because we ended up going back in with them and they killed the record. As far as like Genuine, I've been a fan of his, and for him to allow me to write 6 records for him, that was incredible. The Jamie Foxx, that was super fun because I wrote the record for him. I mean, a lot of these artists are super, just talented people, but they're people. And when
Right.
they're allowing you to direct them, that's a really intimate moment. I'm instructing you and you're taking instruction from me. You're talking about one of the biggest movie stars in the world listening to what I say. So that's a certain power you have, and you have to understand how big of a blessing that is. So it was, for me, um, I look back at the relationships more than I do the records. Like, wow, like I was with this person, or I was able to chill with this person. The Tupac thing, to be honest, happened. I remember, I think they wanted Dave Hollister first, and something happened. And then all of a sudden, I get a call. I go in the studio, I sing as hard as I can, and then all of a sudden, Afeni Shakur calls my phone, and she's like, "I need your address, your mom's address." I'm like, "Why?" I thought I was in trouble. Man, did I do something? I mess up your son's record? She's like, "No, I want to send her some flowers." And it was
Oh,
supposed to be the second single, ended up being the first single. These moments that is just God swooping in, like, you know what? I saw what you did last week. Here you go. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like, no
Right.
look past is God just hitting you with the
Right.
Stockton assist, and you like, dang, like I can't believe this. But I'm a man of faith, so I mean I should believe, but you still never take it for granted.
Of course. Course. And obviously, from what I can see here, you're very humble. You
Oh,
give
thank
credit
you.
where it's due. So, you've been in the game for 20 plus years. What else is your secret to success and longevity?
Well, it's funny. Today is the anniversary for Rated Next, our very first album, 23 years ago today.
Wow.
Um, I think that we're not always humble, but it's correction. I think that we live in a time of cancel culture, and it needs to be more grace, because there were a lot of people that showed me grace, people around me grace, when we made mistakes, when we messed up. When I first got put on, I was like 19, so I'm sure that I said the wrong things, did a lot of wrong things, but there were people that were overlooking my immaturity and seeing the talent and the drive, and saying that if we direct that energy this way instead
Right.
of over here, this can really be something. I think we need to get back to doing that and molding these younger artists and young kids, instead of saying, "Oh, you messed up, it's over for you." Um, so I think the longevity is because of great people that have come in my career, the Prof T's and Lance from Low Key, the Clive Davis, KG, my group members. A
Mhm.
lot of times people will say stuff like the lead singer, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
because we all lead. I'm the baby, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I learned from Tilo. I got instructions from him. I learned how to speak to people and interact with fans from tweets. So it's always about being a sponge too. You know, sitting in a room and being able to, I could be in a room with a Starbucks guy, the Uber delivery guy, and still absorb different things. I don't care how long I've been in the industry, you can continue to learn. So I think my openness to learning and great people, like right now, you could have anybody on here. You got
Mhm.
the, I see you got freshly made up. You got the, you know what I'm saying? Got the flowers in the background. Anybody would be on here doing the interview with you right now. And for you to allow me on y'all platform is a blessing. And for me to understand that and not take that for granted is why I hope I'm here 23 more years. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
You claim Nick, you will be. It's
Thank you.
definitely to happen. And I know that you're a big family man and it's a big component of your life. You have a beautiful baby girl. And you know,
Thank you.
we saw the injustice towards Breonna Taylor last week. And my question to you is, in what ways do you make sure that your daughter feels protected while growing up Black here in America?
I always, which is funny because she's probably upstairs watching this right now. It's a double-edged sword because I always tell her you can do anything. Daddy,
Mhm.
help me with this, and I'll be like, I'll show you, but don't ever say you can't do it. You
Right.
can. You just don't understand how to do it yet. But there's no such thing as can't. You can do anything. So there are times that she'll want to do something that she shouldn't, and she'll be like, "But I can do anything."
Uh,
So I just try to instill in her that. I mean, I wrote a record for her called "You Are," and I did a video for her last year that I put her in. I always just try to uplift her, and I push her. But she's really inspired me more than anything because for a while, you look at the state of music and you go, okay, people just want to hear all these, classic records from me. They don't want to hear anything new, but I'm an artist at heart. What do I do? Maybe I should just chill out, tour, whatever. But then I'm around my daughter, and one day she wants to be a doctor. One day she wants to be a singer. The next day she wants to be this or that. And it's my job to push her to try to do it all. So
right.
how can I push her to be all these things? And I'm slightly giving up. I'm the example. So what she does is inspire me more than anything. So that's why I keep pushing on.
I love that. And just speaking from a girl who's a daddy's girl, I love my mama too. We like this. But my dad,
What's your daddy name?
Robert L. Smith.
Robert Lewis. Yes, RL. Exactly. That's why I said that earlier. That's why I said I'm RL number two. Robert Lewis. I know exactly. See, you didn't get it earlier. You didn't get it earlier. That's
No,
why I'm saying.
I did, but I was like, does he really know my
Because
dad? Like,
because this is what happens. You took the time to do homework on me to ask me questions, right? It's
correct.
my job to do a little homework on you to let you know that you're the important person. I'm on the bottom screen, okay? It's your show. So I know who your daddy is. We got the same first name. So tell
Wow,
Mr. Robert I said hello.
I will. And it's so important, just that whole relationship, because I wouldn't be the woman I am today without him instilling in me just everything would, like, that you're beautiful, that you could do this, that you can't do this. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
definitely that relationship, she's gonna cherish it forever. So I love that.
Thank you.
Okay, so moving on. I do want to have a transparent moment with you because I know a lot of people, especially a lot of Black men, they've dealt with depression before, and it isn't easy. I've dealt with it myself as well. So, with
Hmm.
September being National Suicide Prevention Month, what advice would you give to young Black men who may be feeling depressed, especially during this whole pandemic that we have going on?
Well, it's funny because I've tried to be transparent about the fact that I tried to commit suicide my senior year of high school, and the only thing that stopped me from doing it was God. Um, I didn't have the strongest support system. People telling me, I could do anything. The way I try to be with my daughter and my son. Um, I think it's really about faith, and it's about people around you. Just because we related don't mean we family. So
Right,
sometimes we think that the cards were dealt with. This my daddy, he ain't been around. My mom is this, or my brother this. I don't have my grandparents this. No, it could be a teacher, a mentor. It could be somebody you might not even really know, but you've been watching how they move. Find inspiration in everything, and find someone to talk to. You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like, and that's hard a lot of times, but it's probably best if you find somebody to talk to that don't know everybody you know,
right,
because what happens is you talk to somebody and y'all got this circle. It's not a secret once it leave your mouth. Somebody knows, somebody else gonna know. So I think that it's about sometimes having somebody that you can vent to and talk to that's removed from your circle per se. Because
Hmm.
everybody thinks, oh, I got to have my inner circle, my team, and I got no. It ain't about opinions. It's about somebody that can look from the outside, from a different
Right.
perspective, and tell you things out of love. You know what I mean? And that's where, again, we go back to the cancel culture thing and the lack of grace. I understand right now it's super hard. People ask me about different artists and stupid stuff they say or do. Truthfully, if there were camera phones and social media out like it is now, when I came out, I'd be more hated than the dude that was with the red hair that was doing the debate yesterday. I ain't even gonna say his name, but we did stupid things. The difference is there was grace and there wasn't necessarily a record of it. So I think that anybody watching this that's feeling down, because to be honest, you never totally get over it. You just have to find moments of reflection, and whether it's reading my daily word or finding somebody to give me a positive word or telling me they love me, that's what gets me through. People think money or success, and they see these athletes talking about depression or things they go through, and they're like, "Boo hoo, you're rich." Man,
Right.
money isn't. That just makes it magnifies who you are.
Hmm.
So if you're a butthole and you got money, man, you ain't got nothing to lose. If you're sensitive with money, or if you're impulsive with money, if you're cheap with whatever it is, you're just gonna be a bigger version of that, because that's what money allows. But yeah, I mean, and anybody just watching this is going through, depression, believe me, I seriously understand. I walked in my parents' room senior year of high school, finals week, with a pistol in my mouth. You can do anything, you can make it through, I promise you.
Yes, that's so true. So true. So true. And um, to pick it up, speaking on new artists, have you written for any new R&B artists, or are there any artists out there that you work with who are new to the scene?
Yeah, well, there's a young cat. His name is Tylen. We did his first single with "If It Isn't Love," and we brought Mr. Ronnie DeVoe from New Edition,
Hmm.
BBD, and we put him on the joint. It went 33 on Billboard, and now we're getting ready for the second single. Yeah, yeah. Me and my partner did "Pull Up" for Lil Duval and Ty Dolla Sign. We wrote and produced that, and we have a few other things. We did the High for him as well. The Christmas joint he got with Monica, we did that. I love Duval because he's super funny, but people don't realize that he's super talented as well. But I'm open to any artist that's humble enough, excuse me, that wants to learn, because it's
Right.
not just about doing a song. It's I want you to walk out of my studio being a better person. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I think that that's what's important.
So true. I see somebody in the comments mentioning Eric Bellinger. That
No, that's my little brother. We were just in Australia together a while ago. I love him and his family. He's a great dude. Um, but he doesn't. I'm a writer, and he's a writer. He's a
right.
prolific writer. So it's just different. You know what I mean? He. It's like when people come to me like, "Yeah, I want to write this record." It's impossible, because as an artist myself, I know what I want to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for him, it will be the same way. I just think he's super dope. I can't even say underrated. I just think that he's worked with so many huge artists and given them so many dope records that you forget about him and his talent. And I think
Right.
that's a testament to him and how dope he is, because the records are so huge that it becomes that artist that he wrote for signature record.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
yeah.
True. So true. Okay, well, before I let you go, let everyone know what else you're working on, how we can support you. Like we said earlier, ladies, if you're in the ATL, you can catch them tonight at Medusa. But what else do you
Yeah.
got?
Well, we're working on RTV. We're gonna try to put it out in October, but it looks like I'm gonna be putting out a single, um, an official single now. I can't really say because they're in negotiations right now. But besides that, RTV's coming. I grew up on MTV. Not only did I grow up on R&B, but I grew up on like pop music, rock, Loverboy. Oh, Prince stuff
Right.
too, because my mother grew up with Prince. And I have a whole project that's called RTV, which is a playoff of MTV, where I'm singing like those kind of rock, pop, R&B songs, but they're hood, because
Hmm.
I still got that hood in me. And then I have a Afro beats album that I wrote and produced that I think I want to put out. We went to Nigeria, and I just fell in love with the whole sound and the culture. And then we have a Next by Nature project, which is Next and Naughty by Nature. We have an EP that's pretty much done. And then after that, the album is called The Procession. I'll get ready for that. So I'm just continuing to create. My partner, his project is coming. We have Yes Ma'am. I think the next project he's doing is Appreciate You, because he's from Birmingham, Alabama. He's a country boy. And we just trying to have fun and create and do it because we love it.
Right.
And it's given me opportunities like this. Like I wasn't even going to release anything, but it was B Flat's idea. Like, yo, put out some. You have all this great music you're sitting on. I mean, and he produced it. He's like, well, let's just give it away. And it's given me opportunities like sitting here with you, you know, Mr. Robert's daughter. And I appreciate it. It's amazing.
Well, we love it. We love you. We're here to support you in any
Thank you.
way. Keep up the great work and
Thank you.
direct your path as he's been doing. And I know we're just here and see so much more from you in the near future. So thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, thank you guys for, you know, giving me this opportunity to talk on your platform. I really, really appreciate it. I'm honored, and tell Mr. Robert again he did a great job. And I thank you for taking the time out of your evening to holler at me. And all you guys that tuned in, thank y'all so much. I'll talk to y'all soon.
It's no problem. Look, you want to warm your vocals up? Hit us with a little note before you leave for the night.
Sure. Okay. What do you want me to? What do you want me to sing? I can.
Whatever you want to sing. Something
No,
quick.
okay. Y'all got to give me something. Is anybody in the comments? I can. It's whatever.
They've been talking all night, y'all. He's asking what
Yeah.
y'all.
I mean, what can I sing? Nobody's saying it. If y'all tell me, maybe I could. Give me something. My mind is.
Your latest, your new song.
I did that in the beginning though, and I know people will be like, "Well, could you sing this? It is the 23rd anniversary of
Someone
the
said that
album."
IV, someone else
Oh,
said
best
like,
man. Okay. Standing here alone, trying to face another day. Gotta stay strong to endure this pain I'm dealing with right now. It flipped my whole life upside down. I don't want your help. I don't need your sympathy. What can a brother do for me? Can help me be the best man I can be. There you
yay,
go.
thank you. Thank you
All
so
right.
much. You're gonna be on there
Thank
all
you.
it's good. Thank you. Be safe. Take
All right,
care.
you too. Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. Well, that is a wrap on Mr. RL. So I hope you guys thoroughly enjoyed that. Of course, we're posting all of these interviews to our Instagram live. And then coming up next is Anthony Burrell. So stay tuned right here. Don't go anywhere because my girl Bonnie Banks will be talking to the main man himself, Mr. Anthony Burrell. So until next time, my name is Lily. We appreciate you guys. We love you. And I'm gone.